reframing or deconstructing definitions of women. I thought was thinking about a man in relation to women. So, and I was thinking that every man spends at least 8, 7, 9 months inside a woman. Then he's born, and for the most part, he's pretty dependent on this woman for taking care of him. For I guess it's lengthened now. Some kids are taken care of into their 20s, but so it's a great deal of dependence on mother, woman, and then lo and behold, you find that a man finds that he's sexually attracted to the gender of the mother. So in the kind of in the unconscious, woman is profoundly powerful in relation to the man. The man is very intimidated by woman, and and what we're intimidated by or frightened of, we tend to suppress throughout the history of civilization. And I think a lot of the suppression of women are because of that fear that they can't get in touch with their own feminine aspects within themselves, that they're not fearful. So even a woman, many women carry for a man their feeling function. Now, feeling defined in the sense of the ability to value things, the ability to aesthetically appreciate things. The feeling, it's not just feeling, it's just not like romantic aspects, although it can be. Women can maybe express it more so than a man. But so in a way, this is threatening to a man. And throughout history, like in Rome and ancient Greece, they were very, you know, believing in sexuality and in prostitution, and they believed in marriage, but their wives were not allowed to go out by themselves. They always had to have an escort, because they just assumed that this woman would just be, cheating on them, or they wouldn't, or unfaithful or something, because they had such a powerful sex drive. So they had the ambivalence too, and that's beginning parts of suppression. Um, and until we get to the point of, there's another point in relation to racism. When America was being formed, they would hire indentured servants to come and work the fields and the tobacco fields and all. And these indentured servants, they were from all around the world, but they had a tendency to get malaria, and they couldn't fulfill their contract. So then they found out that black guys from Africa had very little instances of malaria. So they came over, were enslaved, but they were also looked upon as being powerful and strong because they didn't get malaria. And that was threatening to the guys. Of course, over and above, the primary reason is, economic exploitation, but also that these guys were strong, and we have to hold them down because they could take our women, or they could. So much of suppression is based on fear, and in the aspect with men and women, I think if we can work on ourselves and start to not look at women as fearful. I think also maybe prostitution, also with some guys, it's just a contractual thing, like you're paying for this. You're not risking being rejected. You're not sharing feelings. You're not, you're not courting. And so it's sort of just a business contract that lets go of but that is I mean, it serves some people in some certain cultures, but it's not the highest level of a man and woman relating. So I think we can look at it from that end, and there's all sorts of suppressions based on fear, and in many fields. So we were just talking about racism and sexual aspect, and and then there's a psychological thing that men, will have women carrying their feeling function, and historically they were saying men would carry a woman's intellectual functions. But like this day and age, there's more women in PhD programs in America than men by a large amount. So obviously women can do anything intellectually that men do. So things are leveling out, but we have to, get rid of the fear of that. And then, like I had a woman I was working with, and she was working in this department in a bank. They were selling currency or something, and there were 10 people in her group, and she she made more money for the bank that one given year than all other 9 people in the group, which happened to be men. And so when it came bonus time, she got the same bonus as each man, and so you see how it's discriminated in every ways. But I think we have to be less fearful, and and then there's know companies exploiting women get more money to put in their pockets too. But I think it stems from a lot of fear. So anyway, that was just some thoughts I had, and we have to work on not fearing each other, way back to gender, and accepting and celebrating the differences and not putting them down. So pleasure talking to you. Cherry's coming to this group each week, and